So you guys know that the fragrance community is absolutely on fire right now. So that means that brands are trying to keep up and they are trying to supply our demand. And there are so many new releases that are coming out. So it's probably hard for you guys to keep up and know what's coming out until you go into the store. So this video is essentially going to be like your one-stop shop to what's coming out in the next couple of months that's been announced. And I'm going to try and give you some hidden gems as well. Yes, people, what is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's TJ, and over here on my channel, I discuss all things fragrances and the fragrance industry. So if there's any content, anything at all that you guys would like to see, just let me know down in the comments. And I've never really done a video like this before for YouTube. I've done it for TikTok and Instagram, but never on YouTube. So the laptop is out so I can give you guys the most accurate information. So let's start off with a designer brand who are releasing a new flanker. So the designer brand is YSL, and a new fragrance is coming to the YSL Y line. So we got YSL Y EDP, which pretty much everybody has in their collection. And then last year around March or February, they released this one here, which was YSL Y Elixir. And this thing is absolute trash. I don't rate this thing at all anymore. It's terrible. Haven't even finished the bottle. But they are now bringing out a new fragrance to this line. And I'll put bottles on the screen for everything. This is called YSL Y Iced Cologne. And it's just bare weird. When I looked online, they are calling this fragrance a EDT intense concentration. So for anyone who doesn't know, EDT is literally eau de toilette. So it's the kind of the weakest concentration when it comes to EDP, parfum, extrait, blah, blah, blah. So it's an EDT, but they're calling it intense concentration, which makes no sense. And with the name and the color of the juice, I'm assuming that's going to be icy blue fragrance. It should be similar to something like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. I'm hoping for, but something that smells a little bit more colder, a little bit more aquatic, and just something different than a fresh blue fragrance. So that is the first designer fragrance coming out. And by the way, I don't have any release dates for these, but normally what happens is when they're getting announced around this time of year, they should be out. Most of them before Christmas, if not January 2026. So the next one for a designer brand, it is the House of Tom Ford, but these are all to their private line. They just released Black Orchid Reserve Privé, which is nice, nothing special. And they've got two more releasing in this bottle that they have announced. So one is called Fig Erotica, which comes in a purple bottle. And the other one is called Tormina Orange, which comes in like the greenish bluish bottle. One is obviously going to be a fig fragrance. The other one should be fresh in that Mandarino Diamalfi kind of vibe. But I was speaking to one of the sales assistants who just had a meeting with the Tom Ford team in Selfridges the day before. And she's like, look, we're not allowed to say anything yet. So I'm sorry. I'm snitching. I'm giving up information to you guys. So if the woman sees this, I'm sorry. But she said there is a flanker coming to Vanilla Sex. So Vanilla Sex, they released in a cream bottle last year. It was like 50-50, nothing special, but some people loved it. The price point was crazy. They're releasing a flanker to that. So I don't know, what kind of sex is it going to be? Chocolate? I don't know. Chocolate sex would be crazy though. What about chocolate and vanilla sex? Like a little mixed race thing? I don't even know, but I digress anyway. So now let's move on to one of the most hyped niche fragrance brands. And one of the most hyped niche houses is the house of Amouage. And everybody's going crazy and drooling for Outlands, which again, I think is a great fragrance. So this is the Essences collection that they recently released. It was Luster, it was Outlands, and it was something else, I can't remember. But they have announced that they are releasing 4 more, because one is actually available now. It's a limited edition bottle with some funky logo. And the other 3 fragrances are apparently available at Dubai Airport now. So if you're going through Dubai or having a stopover, go and look for them, because one is called Remain, one is called Sequence, and the other one is called Line 618. Don't know what these stand for, but everything in this collection has a similar DNA, that kind of menthol kind of style of fragrance. But I think they're going to go crazy. And the hype that Outlands is getting, it's literally gone like no one talking about it to everybody talking about it. So whatever they release in this bottle is going to go crazy. And us in the UK, we're probably lucky because at least one of them will probably end up being a Harrods exclusive. And on top of the Essences collection, to their original line, they are releasing Decision 42, which doesn't really make sense to me. I know they released I believe it's Decision 41 in a white bottle that I absolutely couldn't stand. I hated it. So to release Decision 42 sounds a bit weird, because the numbers, if you don't know, represent the amount of perfume oil in it. So Guidance 46 means 46% perfume oil, which is nearly half of the bottle. So if you've done a Decision 41, if I'm right, and now it's Decision 42, I don't think that makes too much sense. And now let's quickly touch on the house of Louis Vuitton, another designer house, but very expensive fragrances if you own any. They have announced, and I believe they have released them already. They are released in China. There's called one like Rain Tea and 2 others to that line. One's in a blue bottle, one's in a green, one's in a white called like Ink something. And a lot of people I've spoken to say, like, when it comes to Asian culture with fragrances, they tend to go for things that are much more lighter, non-invasive, nothing overpowering. They're not going for beast mode fragrances like Ombre Nomad. They're going for more of those lighter fragrances. So that collection of 3 fragrances are going to be lighter fragrances to cater to that demographic and that market. Hence why it's going to be sold and distributed there first. Obviously, all the Louis Vuitton boutiques are probably going to get them early 2026, but they're just going to go crazy. Anyone who gets their hands on that first and drops a video, yeah, you're guaranteed a couple million views. It's crazy. So all the influencers are going to be running around scrambling trying to get that. And on top of that, you know, they've got the X straight line, which is a bit more expensive. They've got the weird little lids, like Symphony and stuff like that. They are releasing one to that line called Phantasmagori or something. I've seen a few people get their hands on it already. It looks all right, but again, that X straight line doesn't really excite me. And now let's move over to Mancera, because I feel like this year they haven't really done anything special. They released French Riviera Intense. They released Explicit Vanilla, which was nice, and then Instant Crush, which was nothing crazy. They have finally, about time, they've jumped on the pistachio wave, but I don't know if they've missed the train, because I think people are kind of bored of pistachio now. It's going to come in the same bottle of this. The fragrance is rumored to be called Ombre Tonka, so it's going to be a vanilla gourmand pistachio scent, which to me I'm not excited for, just because that pistachio is kind of done now. Everyone rinsed out the Dubai chocolates thing, but again, if you're into your gourmand still and you like pistachio in a fragrance, then keep an eye out for Ombre Tonka. And now, talking of Tonka, this line, if you have tried any of these red fragrances from Hubon Paris, and I'm glad they're kind of getting their flowers now in terms of the whole brand, because I absolutely adore this fragrance right here. This is called Mon Boudoir, and this is like the most classic, elegant fragrance. And that's what Hubon Paris do. Hubon Paris and Guerlain are two of the first modern fragrance houses. So it's good to see them still relevant and still getting their flowers now. So this line, you got Ambre, Rubish, you got a vanilla one and something else. This is a cherry scent that's absolutely amazing. They are releasing a new fragrance to this line called Tonka Sublime. So again, it's going to be vanilla, it's going to be creamy. Hopefully it's got a lot of character. I'm excited for it though, because everything else they've got is banging, and the juice that I've ran through in this, yeah, I'll probably end up doing the same in that. So keep an eye out for these. I believe you can try them in Fortnum and Mason here in the UK. I don't think they're in Harrods. I don't think they're in Selfridges, but without a doubt they're in Lessie and Tur. So go over there, check them out, and just have a look on their website and see the new arrivals, because I believe this might come out this year. And last but not least, the interesting brand, yeah, just because they got crazy hype and they never capitalized. So I'm kind of calling, it's kind of a failure, to be honest, because you guys all know this fragrance. Last year and the year before, they went crazy. Venom Incarnate, God of Fire, everything, Mango Kiss, all of that. It went absolutely insane. But they never did anything with it. They released See My Love, which was in a blue bottle, which was like a Mega Mare style of salty aquatic fragrance. Nothing special. But normally brands, they see, yo, everyone's talking about it. It's like, cool, let's get something out like a month or 2 months later to continue it. They didn't. And for that reason, that's why they've been not kicked out, but they haven't been continued in Harrods Beauty, and instead they've got in Goldfield and Banks and got them out, because it's like they haven't been doing anything to kind of stay relevant. But now they have announced 2 fragrances coming out. One is called Le 8, and it's got literally 8 on the bottle, and it's red and gold. And then there's another one coming out called the Queen and the Viper. Both of the notes breakdown, which I'll put on the screen, looks all right, but again, I feel like they've just missed the boat. They have to be really groundbreaking fragrances for people to go back and dive in, because their range has been so stagnant for so long. When they got the hype, everybody's just explored them already, and God of Fire is the #1 and whatnot. So these 2 have to be special, and I hope they are. So I spoke to the guy in Harrods. He said they should be available in Harrods. Probably by the time I drop this video, they should be available. So check out my TikTok to see if I've dropped a full review on them. If not, on your next visit there, just go ask. If it's not there, try and get a sample. But yeah, my mouth is dry now. I've recorded like flipping 6 or 7 videos on the bounce, and YouTube videos as well. So the grind, we're grinding, man. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know out of these, which is your favorite new release that's coming out, or if you know any that I don't know about, let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, love for the love.